doesn't make any sense to
Well,
me.
I got mad questions. Before we proceed, Grassroots Podcast, be sure to hit the noti, subscribe, check us out, and that's Grassroots Pod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I'm obviously one of the hosts, Brandon Killabh Hall.
Erin Ashley Simon.
Scotty Too Hottie.
Hold on. Fam. Yo, the weather get nice and you just start wilding. Like, no one else sees this. Yeah, like the weather get nice and now.
I don't know. The way he looks, he's definitely regular.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Nah. He's not schmeggler today. See it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it
Am I
today.
going first or lyric?
Well,
I
Damn.
think he should.
yeah.
I'm gonna be a gentleman.
No, you gotta go.
I'm Wilson.
Yeah. And our guest that's no stranger to the family, to the pod. Lyric. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I think our guests know at this point that we cheat. We don't have sound effects. We're actually our own sound effects.
Listen, that dog voice I did.
Fire,
When I
by the
went
way.
back and listened to it, I was like, oh my god.
Fire, by the way. Yeah. Britt got the boom.
We gotta get her
Yeah,
mic.
yeah. Britt has the mic at
Oh,
times.
she's okay.
Britt is funny like that though. Like sometimes Britt will talk and then sometimes she won't. Like.
Okay, she'll be making shots at one of us.
Yeah, basically. Whenever she needs to take a shot, then she'll be like, "Give me the mic. I gotta say something."
She'll be like, you're false, but that's okay.
Yeah, fuck
Can I
outta here.
just shout her out because
Yes.
she,
Yeah, go ahead.
we have been hiring her for behind the scenes footage of State of the Culture, and we welcomed her back for the first episode, and she is so fucking amazing. She
Yeah.
goes up the stairs and she gets the shots from the top,
Yeah.
and she edits the fucking footage so nicely, and I just love her so much.
She gonna cry in the car.
Yeah, she gonna try. Word.
Thank you. Shout out to you.
Word.
Tears. You ain't shit, Britt.
Yeah, word.
Wait, we got a humble her. You ain't
to say,
shit,
you ain't shit,
Britt.
Britt.
You ain't shit.
I was like, don't nobody love me like that, man.
Word.
Friends humble each other. We gotta keep our head together,
Yo,
you know?
You know what's so fucked up about all this? Lyrics said all this great shit about Britt, and the only thing I could do was get mad at Kyle about taking pictures from the angle, shooting down. I got really mad about that.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
great. You got.
Fuck you, Kyle.
Damn, son.
That's what makes the creative so dope.
Definitely.
Is that you do shit to get the shot that nobody's gonna get.
Yeah. So Jussie Smollett, everyone familiar with his situation right now and everything that's happening with him.
Yes.
So for the viewers that don't know, Jussie was in Chicago. I think he was booked for an a gig or something out there. He got into an altercation that turned very violent. He was attacked, brutally attacked, suffered broken ribs. Was
Allegedly.
We'll get there. Had had a noose around his neck and was attacked by Trump supporters, quote unquote Trump supporters, with were wearing MAGA hats. There's some inconsistencies with his story. Well, for one, I know there's a few questions out there, so we'll get them out the way. The story that doesn't add up, again, is him wearing the noose, going home, and why are you wearing this and waiting hours before you report it. The other thing that people are questioning is the fact that him and the manager won't turn over their cell phones and or their records to corroborate the story of the manager saying that he was on the phone with Jussie while he was attacked. Very odd, cool. I don't care about any of that. My thing that raises to me is if, let's say, hypothetically speaking, this altercation was a publicity stunt to sell records, whatever the case may be, which would be heinous, but let's say it is. How dangerous is this during this time when we have a lot of things happen? We saw what happened with Chris Brown recently with him being falsely accused. Like, should he be held accountable?
Well,
if
Chris Brown's case is still going.
well, still going.
But-
I'm talking about with the girl
The
because
girl,
the,
the-
Oh,
The fact
okay.
that the girl said that he raped her, but he
Yeah,
didn't.
he
So
didn't.
you had it's
Correct.
like
Oh, okay.
the boy who cried wolf.
Yes,
like,
correct.
Does it tarnish the hashtag Me Too movement?
Correct.
Or for this, is it? Are we lying about this so it actually makes this less credible in the future? Like, hate crimes are hate crimes and they're still happening. So no matter what, that still sucks and that's in its own right.
Yeah.
Now, he got fucked up. Do we know why? We don't have the proof why. And I think that, there's a possibility that I think it's also interesting psychologically that his album name and tour and all that is like some of my music. I'm not 100% confident about this, so maybe there is reason to embellish it just a little bit, and more people will want to reach out and feel bad for him. I hope that's not the case, because having some violence done to you is fucked up. Just keep it real.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to turn in your phone? Then I also think, well, What if he's into child pornography or some shit? Not saying that he is,
Yeah.
but when you
What
think
if he has
about
things on his phone that he doesn't want
why
people to know?
wouldn't you want to find somebody that broke your ribs?
Well, in my story, and I don't have any information. I don't know anybody. In my story, though, I think that this might
Your opinion?
Yeah, my opinion. Basically, my opinion. Thank you. My opinion is basically this might have been.
No, I'm
issue.
helping him.
Yeah, this might have been an issue between him and his significant other. Me personally, I think that the shit.
It's Oh yeah.
I think that the shit got out of control, and
He whipped his
There's a
ass.
story going
yeah,
around.
there is a story going around.
I learned
so,
this yesterday.
So that's my thing. My only thing is it's just dangerous if it's not real. Like there's a lot of extremes in here when you really think about it. You're tying in MAGA, you're tying in lynchings, you're tying in a young black man, you're tying in a whole community of people that are now backing you because of these allegations, these things that happen. What do we do now if this is proven to not be authentic?
Well, I think no matter what this, like, if it becomes false, I think this can be a dangerous situation in the sense of how weaponized things on social media are these days, especially in the political climate that we're in, for people to justify whatever reasonings that they want to. So I think that, like, even more, like, it would be really, really bad if this comes off as not accurate or true, and especially considering that like transgenders' rights in the military were banned, and so now this could feed a specific narrative to justify some of the rights that were taken away for the LGBTQIA community. So but another thing too is like if everything lines up with all the facts, at the end of the day, like a guy got beat up. Now we don't know the full story, but if it is a hate crime and if it is a crime against him being gay, then it just shows you how fucked up people are just because of a MAGA hat and the racist undertones of his campaign. So no matter what, it's dangerous either way.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. The other thing I worry about too is I think about kids, right? Kids, like, how many fans does this guy have? How many people watch Empire? How many people look up to him? Could this be sending the wrong message, again, allegedly, if this is not real, that, hey, this is okay if you don't feel comfortable with something, it's okay to make up these heinous stories and cooperate with your manager and do all of this to hide the real truth and putting people in danger at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a slippery slope when you think about this kind of situation.
And if he did lie, and if that is true, there's a part of himself and his experience that he's insecure about, that he's not happy with, that he wants to hide from people. And either way, I wish him the best, and I hope that, you know, we all come together, whether it's true or not, and just really try to get this hate the fuck out of here, because it's very detrimental, and like I'm not trying to move backwards, and we're not moving backwards, and I think that that's a scary thing for people who still have that belief. That, you know, like we're getting taken over and all this stupid bullshit of that fear creates. But I just, you know, want the best for him.
I want, definitely to his family, to him. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be something.
Wait, Naz, did you have anything to say?
No, I think y'all covered it all. That shit is just feckless if he's lying.
That's a good word. That's
oh, he's back with the Naz Dictionary Word of the Day. Yes.
You pulled out your little SAT book on me just now.
Yes. I was waiting for you to bring this shit back. You know how many words people can learn?
You're real?
Yeah, I don't know if he actually like got beat up or not, but I don't know, man. I think it's very telling that we haven't heard anything from Lucius yet.
From who?
From Lucius.
We haven't heard anything from Lucius yet.
He did. Actually, Lucius did say something.
I don't know what Lucius might do. I think that's what we should really be worried about is the retaliation.
What comes after this heinous attack?
Yeah, but listen, man, if this is fake, then it's terrible because I don't want to rehash what you guys just said, but it's weird. Like when y'all first.
Weird flex, but okay.
I don't know what to say because we discussed this already in a thread. Like from the jump, I said that there was mad red flags, man.
I don't know. I mean,
weird flex.
Yeah, this is a weird flex. It really is. I guess more to come. I don't think we'll ever get the true story of this. Probably not for quite some time. It just looks a little sketch. I mean, he just did a performance. Where was the performance at, Chris?
That's when his family came out and
it was still in Chicago.
LA.
No, it was in LA, right?
LA. Yeah.
So this is the first performance that he's done, a live performance. I just factored in a few things that actually you brought up in the chat earlier. There's broken rib. I don't know how you're.
He said they weren't broke.
He said it was bruised. Yeah, he said they was bruised.
They were bruised.
Yeah.
He said.
See, these are red flags.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, he said they were bruised, and then his doctor said that his doctor and I think attorneys told him that he can sing.
Yeah.
You never went to the hospital.
He never went to the ER, right?
Red flag.
Or something like that. It was posted. Hold on, let me get the exact wording.
Listen,
Wait, Chris, can you look it up for the exact wording?
No broken ribs, no broken jaw, just that little cut on his eye.
You got.
Hold on, I'm gonna get the exact wording because
and no noose marks around the neck.
Nope.
Nothing.
Well,
You know what?
although
All I kept reading was that when the police showed up, he had a rope, not a noose, a rope around his neck. Not a noose. A noose, that's some shit that somebody tied intricately. They know how to make.
Yeah.
They said a rope around his neck, not a noose, a rope.
So
So when the police came there, I didn't know that he didn't call the police right away.
no, it was 2 hours later.
Yeah, 2 hours later.
on,
2
man.
hours
You
later.
know what?
2 hours
That's
later.
so
Which is weird. Why would you walk home with the
weird.
rope around your neck?
Call your manager.
Call your manager, then call the cops, and
Should
even
I
when the
call the
cops
cops?
get and then
You're
even when the
thinking
cops
about
get there,
it. That
you
means
still
you're
have
thinking
the.
about it.
But that's my thing. The oddest thing to me is that this nigga was sitting there with the noose around his or rope around his
here
neck,
we
whatever
go.
it is, 2 hours, and then you call the cops, and it's still around you. Why
That's the
would-
honest thing. Let's.
So to add, just to add context, right? He said that he wanted to clarify the following attacks. He was bruised, but his ribs were neither cracked nor broken. He also said that he went to the doctor immediately, but he wasn't hospitalized. And physicians in both Chicago and Los Angeles cleared him to perform at the concert. And he said, quote, "I'm not fully healed yet, but I'm going to be, and I'm going to stand strong with y'all. I had to be here tonight, y'all. I couldn't let this explicitives win. And above all, I fought back."
Let me tell you a little story about Dr. Seuss.
Then he said, "I don't even care to name any names. The hateful rhetoric that gets passed around, it has to stop. But guess what? It stops with the people that believe in love."
What a kawinky think that is.
Too much.
Nah, I can solve this case. Yeah, I can.
Oh yeah, he said that too.
I've
He had-
already solved it.
Wait, I'm sorry.
He said he's gay Tupac.
He's the gay Tupac.
Why everybody want to be Tupac? Relax. Come on.
Relax.
Like, relax. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Tupac,
He's-
how are you Tupac? In what regards?
Because he got beat up.
Because you got shot a bunch of times and still survived or something?
Hold on, did he say they had ski mask on too?
He said they had on a mask.
This is
There you go.
I don't know.
Either way, we hope
Case
that
closed.
Yeah.
no matter what, if it's true, we hope that he
Get well
heals,
soon,
get well
Jussie.
soon. And if it's not true, we still hope that you heal and get better with whatever your situation is. Because no matter what, like
don't judge you.
we don't judge. And he did look a little roughed up, so something obviously did
yeah,
happen.
Unless you
so
R. Kelly, we don't judge you.
Yeah,
But if you
word.
do R. Kelly shit, you good to keep your phone from the police. Good job.
Word.
I don't know, R. Kelly. I'm fucking. Well, one, I'm gonna leave, but if I can't leave, I'm wearing cameras all over. GoPro here, GoPro there. And I'm
The
back.
helmet.
That's something.
Wait, and then have the helmets where you click it, you have the light. Wait a second, click, the light goes.
This shit come right here, right at this shit flip back. Yo, stupid. All right. What else? Oh, okay. All right. So let's move on a little bit. Breakfast Club interview with Killer Mike. Probably one of my favorite interviews for 2019 for a number of reasons.
It's only been a month in, but give it time.
I know. I was gonna say, it's really soon to start handing out that title.
You guys are really killing my
I'm
project.
gonna let you off,
Go ahead. No,
The longest January.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys should take this act on the road. It's fine. Just let me know what you guys have done.
Top 5 interview of 2019.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
by far the best interview.
You're still adding to your
It might have
bit.
been the only interview of 2019.
That was a genuine laugh.
Oh, what do you know? I have the controls for your mics. I can alleviate this problem right now. I can fix this shit. Nevertheless, you fuckers. The reason I like this, for me, Killer Mike dropped a lot of jewels in this. A lot of jewels about black culture, and so fitting that obviously it's Black History Month.
Do you like his show?
Who, Killer Mike shit? I haven't watched it yet.
It's good. I liked it. It's good.
I haven't watched it yet.
You
I know
should
I'm horrible.
watch it.
I'm horrible.
It's
I haven't
okay.
watched
We're
it
going
yet.
to learn things because we all know different things.
Yeah. That's what's gonna happen.
Wait.
I've watched the interview though.
Definitely stealing
That was
one.
creepy.
Yeah, it was.
I'm definitely stealing that one. We're all gonna learn things.
So yeah, the more interesting perspective that I thought that he gave, which I never even thought about it, was his take on schooling and his take on how people are raised and stuff like that. And he brought up the good point about taking pride into where you go to school and your upbringing.
What did he say?
So pretty much he talked about the culture in Atlanta and how they take pride in, you know, black community, black owned businesses. Him and his wife have been together. You know, he talked a lot about that, about how, you know, there's a stigmatism that black men don't like to be with black women or don't support black women. He was like, that him and his wife have been together for years. He then went on to talk about instilling that same set of values in his kids, and that's where the conversation went to talking about schooling and things of that nature. So him and Envy get into a little bit of a tiff, and I say tiff because they're friends. They're just having a debate. Same way we would, essentially. But I thought both of their points were really, really interesting. So Killer Mike's point was more so around going to those historically black schools and colleges in Atlanta and taking pride in it, the same way you would go to a Harvard or some of these more collegiate or prestigious schools and take pride in that. He's like, he wishes that more people would put their kids in those public schools that are black public schools versus the private schools, because he said he feels like that his kids can get the same set of values and or the same opportunities as the kids that go to the private schools. Envy says, well, no, you know, my kids go to private schools. They get a great education. They get a lot of, I guess, for lack of a better word, they get a lot of perks with going to private school, and they're they're afforded a little bit more just because the school is prestigious. Mike's point was, well, you can instill that in them, and you probably are instilling that in them. He talked a lot about Envy's kids being entrepreneurs and starting their own businesses, and he said, well, no, Mike is saying to Envy, no, they got that value from you, not the school. Like, stop putting so much stake into the school. Take pride in it, but it's really about you and how you bring your kids up. So I wanted to know what you guys thought about it. Do you think that public school and private school, like there's clearly a difference, obviously, right? But do you think that it really, really controls or determines your mental outcome or how you succeed in life, I guess?
Can I start?
Good.
I think
Why you look at me?
I don't know. I just felt the vibe that like you would go first. I don't know. That was my
No.
saying that. So I just with you. I feel like on one hand, and he does this with his show. That's why I asked you, what do you think about his show? Some of I watch TV. I study television. I see what Netflix is doing and what's happening. So I'm interested. And you know what he cares about is for black people to accept themselves more, love themselves more, and say not everything that we do is a certain, is like the fact that white people in America have the privilege of doing shit that's almost kind of outrageous. Like he went to talk to Creflo Dollar.
Yeah.
Always loved that man's name. And like had a conversation, and talking about white Jesus and all of these things, and like having Crips and Bloods make soda and sell it, and like teaching people, like having tests and teaching people like it doesn't have to be all bad. So I think what's really good that he's doing is he's trying to create a new perception and a new reality for black people in America. And it makes sense because if you do, it's all about intention, right? Yeah. If we do bring something that is usually looked at like this, and we start opening up the idea that this too is prestigious, and we make it so, then we create that if we want to, like that, and that's how it works, So I get that, and DJ Envy, I think is just he comes from another perspective, and he's like, well, this is reality, and this is what has happened. Yeah. For my kids, and sure, but Killer Mike is like, well, we can also do this here, and I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
Erin?
I thought you were gonna go. That's why I stopped.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go too.
That's why I stopped.
No, it's just a look on my face. Go ahead.
He always has a face that looks like he's about to go.
I was like, I saw his mouth move to it. I was like, oh no, go.
Like he's about to jump in.
Now I'm sitting confused. So like, should I not take the hit when you go? Like, should I not take, like, what the fuck?
All
right, but anyway, so for me, I've had the experience of going to a public school, and I also have the experience of going to a private school. And the thing that I can say is that there is still a bit difference, and I wouldn't even say it's necessarily the cores or the values that are instilled, because that's what it starts at home, right? Everything starts at home. But I think that more so with private school was like, at least from my experience, like it was a lot easier for teachers to kind of focus in on students who weren't really good at certain things, like math or something, just because there weren't so many of them. I wouldn't say they did a better job, but they
didn't have like different levels of classes that would, whatever your test scores are, they put you in them. They didn't do that in private school?
Yeah.
No, they had different levels.
Oh, okay, I was just curious.
They had different levels, but I was just saying that, like, just from what I've noticed, like in private school, they were able to focus more on kids who had learning disabilities or just certain things a lot more than when I was in high school. Even though there were teachers that were in the public school for high school that they did, but it's just like there's so many. My area, like, we have so many kids that they had to make 2 high schools.
Yeah, New York
like
sucks.
it's a lot of kids and not enough staff. And so, but for private school, it's smaller. There's this maybe the same amount of teachers, but there's less kids. Like 100 kids graduated my class, and that's not even like close to half of the size in public school, right?
Where'd you go to?
I went to this private school in New Jersey called Pennington Prep School.
Okay. Jersey's a little different than New York too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Every area has different. And then and another thing too is like, I don't know how other private schools handle, but my private school, basically, their alumni program, they treat it, their network, like how colleges do. So, like, from everything from, like, homecoming to, like, helping kids get internships and stuff like that, it's all based upon, like, the alumni network. And they do this similar to how it is for colleges. When I was in high school, like, they don't really do that as much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. They basically treat private schools like colleges, essentially.
Got it.
That's how, for me, I went to private school and public school. Me personally, I feel like I learned way more in public school than I did private school.
I would say societal,
Yeah.
like society awareness and just.
It's almost like getting your street smarts from a public school.
You went to private
Yeah.
school?
Yeah. I got kicked out of private school.
I never heard. Are you also from the UK?
He threw that
Yeah,
in there.
yeah,
I don't
But
even know
before
you.
you went on,
21.
I mean,
I got kicked out of
had-
it.
had-
I
City in them
suspended.
streets.
I was expelled.
hey, Lyric,
Okay?
I had to let them know.
Before
Nigga,
we
I
get
got
carried
kicked out.
away.
Yeah.
For what?
Hold on, what'd you get kicked out
Yeah.
for?
It could go down in the library
on.
I
right
wasn't
now.
no
What did you get
motherfucking
kicked out
Will
for?
Smith in The Fresh Prince. I got kicked out.
Actually, you definitely did not go to private
didn't
school.
go to
Hold on,
Which one did you go to?
What, you get kicked
Fine.
out for?
Yeah, what did-
I
what'd
went
you
to
get kicked out
I
for?
went to St. Paul's, and it was for behavioral issues.
Where is
What
Talking back to the
Right.
teacher.
I know.
Stop it, stop it. We need
to the teacher.
specifics.
I'm not
like
proud
him.
of
We
it.
need
I'm not proud
specifics.
of it.
What's
He
the
cursed the
behavioral
teacher
issues
out.
you had?
Well, no, for me, if I'm keeping it a buck,
Please.
my
Keep
behavioral
it a
issues
whole 100
were,
bucks.
yeah, my behavioral issues were more so I felt like I was being targeted in the school. Honestly, I felt like
You pulled the
Heard
race
that's-
card?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
I did.
Yeah, he did.
I did. At a young age, I knew my blackness. At a young age.
You raise the fist or no?
Nah, but real shit. I felt like the nuns would always attack
nuns?
me.
Yeah, nuns.
Yeah, it was
They hit you?
nuns. Yeah, hit
With a
me
ruler?
Rulers, whole shit.
Yeah, that's
Punk.
that's
You should've
Catholic
fought
high
back.
school.
That's what happened.
No, he
You fought a
didn't.
nun?
No, not a nun. It was,
Yeah, he did.
It was a guy.
You
So-
punched a nun?
No. So what happened was one of the teachers. You
punched Brother Steve?
He kicked my my chair, and it turned into something else. But I got expelled
Yo,
for it.
fuck that. You
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Rebel.
That's
I'm
what I
not gonna
did.
let no fucking nuns walking around
Yeah, that
beating
was
me.
my thing.
Bitch, you stupid.
Yeah,
You're not
that was-
even
that was my
fucking.
shit.
Like, get out of my face with that.
Yeah,
what
wow.
are you talking about?
My parents didn't even trip though. My parents didn't.
You
trip.
got the gall. Maybe
Yeah.
you need to get some dick.
Yeah.
You know? I'm sorry, but please.
Ooh, I like when
I
this
feel
is
like
going.
kicking Leo out. I feel like kicking Leo out of Catholic school.
This is a great podcast.
That's some bullshit. Can
Yeah.
you imagine a nun walking around trying to be like this angelic saint, kicking your chair and whipping your
Yeah.
ass and shit? The fuck?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Nuns
Yeah.
ass like.
Yeah.
Excuse the fuck out of
I'm-
me.
I'm
Well,
sure-
nuns used to actually, they used to go
Snatch your
through,
bitch weeds off.
like they used to punish
Snatch.
themselves.
Jeez.
I forget what exactly,
Yeah,
but
it's
there's like,
because it's like to punish yourself, like to not lust and like
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
deny
they used
your
to, like,
own
whip
flesh.
themselves with-
That's psychology.
I don't know if they was doing all that. All I know is them fucking nuns was cruel and
They're
crazy.
nuns.
Human beings,
I
we
know.
fuck everything up.
Yeah.
We try to do some good shit, and then we have a way to really fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna pray and you want to feel good, do that. Don't. Why you turn it into all this perverted shit?
Yeah.
Relax.
Well, I have a whole
Facts.
theory about all of that shit about churches, priests, even the Catholic school
But
that I
I'm
went
sorry
to.
they did
all of
that
that
to
shit.
you. Fuck them.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, Brandon, we feel your pain.
Thank you.
I don't.
I'm a
You're
victim.
not alone.
Fuck you.
I'm a victim. What do you mean?
You know, you ain't no
Not
fucking
said no.
victim.
No, you
Ain't no
rose
fucking
above
victim.
it. You're not a
Yeah,
victim
you
no
know what I'm
more.
saying? But real shit though, all jokes aside, I felt like once I went to public school, I learned way more. I learned way more about people, about
Street
even
smart.
yeah. Like I feel like that's when I really started to just learn shit. All the shit that I learned when at least when I was in public school. I mean, on private school, I didn't learn nothing. I didn't feel like the teachers really cared. I didn't, with the exception of a few, obviously, but I didn't feel like they cared. I didn't feel like they were giving me the same attention.
You went to school in New Jersey?
Yeah, yeah.
So you're Team Killer Mike.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Nice.
Basically, I'm Team Killer Mike. All
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Killer Mike.
yeah, yeah.
I like
facts.
what he's doing.
Me
and
too.
I like that they're giving him a platform to do that.
I think it's dope. I think out of all people, I think he is the right person just because he's knowledgeable and he really will guide you in a sense. Just
Except
from his.
I ain't like when he told the kids to strive for mediocre shit.
Wait,
Hold
what?
on.
That was
Oh
real.
yeah,
That
when
was
he was
real.
like, "You ain't gonna be president."
That was
What
real.
you mean that was real?
That was real.
You can
Nah.
be whatever
Yeah.
the fuck you want.
He just,
man.
There's a lot of Uber drivers out there.
Like Nas said.
You can't be president.
There's a lot of Uber drivers out there.
But you know what? Honestly,
I wish I learned the
this is what the
trade.
conversations they have to have with kids. This is what I think they should have with kids.
Actually, hold on, not to cut you off. You made a point. Say what was the point that you said before? You said
What
I don't
about
wanna
private
say-
schools?
No. It was a point that you said. Me and you were talking about people giving bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Say you're pointing. I
Oh,
thought it was great.
so we were guests on a podcast, and basically like. What I said was there are some women empowerment panels and there's some career panels, and they give the most bullshit advice to people, like telling people that, oh, if you work hard, like that's the only formula that it takes to get you where you need to go, and that's not realistic. Like, yes, and working hard is part of it, but it's also about working smarter. It's about the network you have, who you know. It's also about financial literacy.
Yeah.
It's also about having a lawyer, having someone who can negotiate. There's a lot more that goes to being successful than working harder, and and that's why I really try to, when I go on my panels, I really try to give them, like, I'll tell them what they need to do. It's just a matter of what they're going to do or not. But a lot of these people, and especially, I hate saying it, especially in the black community, they give the bullshit ass advice and aren't keeping it real.
Yeah.
But that's also kind of why I think we like Killer Mike, because even if he does say that, at least he's keeping it real. I'd rather someone be honest like that and me prove them wrong than someone being like, oh yeah, Erin, if you work super hard at this one job, you're definitely gonna get six figures. Like,
it don't work like that.
that's not how it works all the
It don't
time.
work like that.
First of all, you're gonna be a good mom. That's all I'm gonna say. She's gonna whoop some ass if she
Yeah,
has
we're
to.
100%.
My Mama Simon, shout out to Mama Simon.
But nah, like I feel like there's a certain, I don't know, I believe in magic. I believe in manifesting.
Do you
Like,
believe in magic?
Let's talk.
but no,
Scoop
go on
doo it
some
is.
real shit. I'm not gonna say everybody could be president or that's everybody's journey and for their life. You know what I mean? I think that's a very unique job to acquire and even want. You know, but I would say there's something about self-love that no one teaches. And I'm gonna say no one, but I'm gonna say no one. It's it's not too many, is what I mean. That don't teach that, and if you don't teach that, if you don't make people believe and know that you can do anything you want to do if you want to.
Yeah.
If you want to, right? Like this situation, people will talk about it, but they're not gonna attract all this beautiful energy to them and be successful because they're not executing well.
Yeah.
Or you could tell somebody that in a sense that traditional teaching that you're talking against is kind of what that is.
Yeah.
You'll have a menial job. You'll have a mediocre job. You know, there's a story. I worked on a documentary called White People for MTV once, and it was a guy. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? He created a documentary called Undocumented, and basically he ended up. He's Filipino, and his grandmother basically snuck him in America. He thought he was a citizen.
Build a wall.
For a long time. Can somebody research
Chris.
Undocumented?
Chris!
'Cause I want to remember
Chris.
his name.
Wow, really?
Chris, have you always had a laptop
Because
here?
kid is Filipino.
Undocumented document
Whoa.
or white people documentary.
Whoa.
And tell me what his name is, because Julio Vargas, something Vargas is his last name. But he basically came here, and his parents said Jose Vargas. So they told him, like, okay, I thought he was just gonna be a menial worker, like doing some shit, and he ended up working for the Washington Post and being like this amazing journalist, and then found out he wasn't even really a citizen.
That's crazy.
And I think it's just really interesting how you never know who you can be. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
I think it takes a certain. I think success takes a certain quality.
It does.
The same way that, like, in athletics, it takes a certain kind of person to be a GOAT in basketball or just to be a great athlete. It's the same thing with success. And I feel like there's different levels of it, too. Some people have it more than others.
Yeah.
But what you were saying about self-love, it's even more than that. It's understanding yourself as a person, and a lot of times the thing that holds people back from succeeding is that they don't take the time to look at themselves in the mirror because they're afraid of what they may see.
Yeah.
Because you have to, like I always tell people, in order to be stronger at what you're doing, you have to also understand your weaknesses. And if you're afraid to look at your weaknesses and look at what you are doing wrong or what certain things that you may need to fix, and if you're afraid to even address that, that could be the thing that's going to hold you back from being successful.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, like these conversations that we're having, it's such a multifaceted, I guess, reasoning behind why people are successful. There's actually a book. Oh my gosh, why can I?
Malcolm Gladwell.
Malcolm Gladwell. He always finds a unique angle. Like in that one book, he was basically saying that like some people are successful and it has nothing to do with like how hardworking they are. It's because they're born a certain year.
Yeah.
Like in hockey, if you're born in a certain year, all the best hockey players are born in a certain year period. It's really interesting, like how that can happen.
I have a question for y'all. Y'all can talk in unison or whatever.
Nas, you answer.
You gonna tell your kids that they should settle for their dreams because they gotta be realistic or nah?
No, but
Depends
I
on what the
will
dream
tell.
is.
Yeah, I tell my daughters to be
What
real.
you about you, Erin?
I would say go for the stars, but they have to be realistic about the steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could, you could be the president. Like go and be the president. But you also got to be realistic about how much work and how much steps. Like you got to go to law school. Like it's a lot you got to do to even get to that point.
Yeah.
So if you want to go for it, I'll support you. But like I said,
You don't have to go to law school.
aim for the stars, but be realistic about the clouds below.
Yeah, that's what my parents always said. As long as you put in the work, it's achievable if you put in the work.
Hell
But
yeah.
if
Especially if you go to private school.
Yeah, word.
And it works like DJ Envy's kids.
yeah, word, and you drive a Ferrari.
Play the-
Yeah, I don't know if it's the private schools for him though.
Play the game. Play the game.
I don't think so neither.
I don't know. If my son wanted to be a rapper, I'd be like, you're trash. Go clean your room. You're going to be a butler, nigga.
Yo, they ain't gonna make a movie and talk shit about you.
Word.
Hurry up, Jeffrey.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna be that dad on like the biopic that was like a drunk and just never supported
Wow,
his kid
the
whatsoever.
slander.
Yeah.
Gee. He didn't even know what to say.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, I was stuck a little bit.
Got him.
I was like, I do like the alcohol. I probably am going to be a drunk dad.
That's terrible.
I heard Danny Lay said that Drake was better than Jay-Z or something like that.
Yeah. That was a whole.
That's our generation.
I'm sorry, I know I'm changing the subject.
I know.
I just thought about that randomly.
I
Since
mean,
we're talking about rappers
today?
and shit.
Huh?
Today?
Today what?
Oh no, don't even.
Wait a second.
Look,
no,
all I'm
you
gonna
can't.
say
You
is-
can't
I'm gonna
add an
say-
asterisk to.
Yo, at a
Great
certain
go.
time out. At a certain point, that baton's got to get passed. It's going to Drake.
You can't be passing baton. Ain't nobody gonna be like Prince has to pass the baton. Ain't nobody gonna say
Yeah,
Michael
we
talking about
Jackson's
Prince right
passing
now?
the baton. They don't.
You triggered him. You triggered him.
Hold on, let's not talk about Prince.
Yeah, let's not, because you don't know what you're going to talk. You know what you're
Yeah.
talking
Let's talk
about.
about Drake, who has way better songs.
This is the guy who said
Then
he would
Jay-Z?
he would choose
No,
8 Mile
not the
movie
Jay-Z.
over The Bodyguard.
LOL.
Wait, I would choose what?
I wouldn't choose the bodyguard either, though.
Thank
I
you.
wouldn't choose neither.
No. But we're saying the combo of movie and projects like music.
Wilson's
that
an
was
asshole.
Music projects. I like the West Side Story.
Yeah, what's our story?
That was
Well,
a bunch of
sorry.
Italians playing Puerto Ricans.
with an artist. With an
Wait, this
artist.
is Italian
Hold on,
with
so-
an artist. Moonwalker.
Come on, you like
I would have
Shit.
you
would
like
have
Prince?
J-Bob.
Wait, are you going Prince or Michael Jackson?
I like my mom loves Prince, and she said she played him when I was in her belly. But personally,
Not
I
for
mean,
you.
Michael Jackson is hello.
That's what I'm saying. She heard Prince since utero and still won't pick Prince. Mike all day.
Yeah.
Prince was a little different to me, and I never understood it. I didn't know if he was gay or not. Or
He
what
wasn't.
was going on.
You know what?
Wait, but that was the 80s. though.
He's like, that was my brother. I knew.
Yo,
I
Prince was the
there
real
for
gay
him.
Tupac, yo.
Well, let's not act act like most men in the 80s did not dress in women's clothes. It went to fucking Macy's.
He cut the ass
and
out
they
of
got
his
their
jeans.
tight pants from Macy's, okay?
Listen, and you know how many chicks he fucked with his ass out
With
after
the
that show?
chapless jeans?
Yeah,
Let me tell
You know how many
if I
Johns
fuck
he
all the
probably
chicks that
picked up
Prince
at
fucked,
Studio
I'm
54?
cutting the ass straight out of these jeans.
It don't take much to give dick away for free when you're a celebrity.
That's
guys.
true, but let me just be clear. If you ever come in here with your ass out, you're no longer welcome in this establishment. Let me just be clear.
Oh, and the only reason you would have to be really great at music and basketball for you
Yeah.
to get away with even that knee uncovering right there.
Hold on.
She said, "You look like the new kids on the block." Oh.
I don't like where this conversation is going.
You started it.
Let's
Word.
pivot. Brandon,
He's
next
pushing
topic.
forward. He got the off-white belt and all that.
Thank you.
We'll pivot.
Thank you, Lyric. Yeah, I felt some type of way when Lyric didn't point out my shoes. She was giving out all these compliments on shoes. I was
You know
like,
what? I didn't even notice because I only
I was
noticed
like,
the off-white belt dripping from the
Lyric.
so I didn't get it.
He was wagging his foot like a hello.
No, you are fresh.
Hello.
I like
Notice
it.
me,
I like
hello.
That just made his
you
day.
can't say that to viewers. He ain't fresh. He whack as fuck.
Come on.
Outta here.
That just made his day.
Mad
Yeah.
trash.
All right.
it.
My day is made.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit about 6ix9ine shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So for those
I
again,
read that yesterday.
Yeah, pretty telling. For those that are under a rock, Tekashi pled guilty
JoJo
to
got
9
over
counts of racketeering,
It's a
and
homeless one.
then also he allegedly snitched on the shooters for what was the Chief Keef shooting, and then a bunch of other shit. Now a bunch of people are saying that. It's allegedly that he snitched on these people because these were the same people that were having relations with his baby mother, as well as were the same people that
Tried to kill him.
allegedly were trying to kill him. And these were found out to be on wiretaps that the authorities played for him.
So,
Is he wrong for snitching? Is my question.
should we even call it snitching?
No,
That's-
he's
that's-
cooperating.
That's my thing. He's
I
cooperating.
don't.
He's not.
So here's my thing.
Nigga try to kill me and fuck my baby mom. I'm supposed to protect you.
Yeah. I feel like there's a thin line with loyalty when it comes to that. Just me.
Yeah.
I'm not about to go on a stand, do mad years, and you trying
47
to smash,
years?
Yeah, and you trying to smash my baby moms, and you just tried to have me killed last week. Like I'm not gonna.
Listen, I don't think the smashing the baby mama is
Not
the
that.
most serious
I
thing.
don't think he has anything to lose at this point.
Well,
And for what-
47
Like, I
years?
mean, think about it. First of all, this is a young kid, okay? He's 22 years old. All right? When you're young, and I remember being young because I grew up in the street, I was doing stupid fucking shit. Okay? I was hanging out with people that was doing stupid fucking shit.
You got kicked out of private
So,
school too?
I never
No, she
went
got
to
kicked out
private
the
school.
streets.
My mother didn't even give me
She got kicked out the streets.
I like
Yo,
you.
my mother didn't even get, I used to be like, my friends used to be like, here goes a half slice of my pizza.
Yo, Larry, but I ain't gonna lie. If you got kicked out the streets, that's wild. Like to get kicked out the streets, like that's kind
I
of crazy.
kicked myself out the streets.
Oh, you real?
Okay. So, but let me just say that I remember doing crazy shit when I was young, and it's almost like you're young. You have this naivete about you where you'll fucking go to court and testify on behalf of your friend, and the shit's not even true.
Yeah.
Like, and not even think nothing twice of it. It's like, would you do that now? Hell no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Would you bring weed to jail for your man's
Yeah.
brother? Hell no. Like, yo,
gotta
like,
bring it between
you
the
do
cheeks,
stupid
too.
fucking shit. And I say that to say that this is a young man now. When he went to court, this is how it went, right? This is the testimony. You know, the lawyer wanted to start it out with, okay, so tell me what your name is, how old are you? All of a sudden got right into it. I watched my father die in front of my face by a stray bullet. And I just rebelled ever since then. And I got stuck and I went to therapy and I didn't feel crazy after that. And I didn't take all the drugs they gave me. My mom made Mexican remedies for me. But I was okay. But at the same time, everything that he did was rebellious and vicious and wild and negative and like just shit on top of shit on top of shit. And you know, now of course he's stuck in this very mentally manipulative, starving, unhealthy situation where people are gonna ask you, yo, you're gonna do time, period. You caught, you found out this and this and this charge and that charge and that charge. So, and it's all these vicious ass crimes. So we can cut, the lawyers have to work and do something. So what can we do for you? Well, we can give you 47 years with a maximum to life, but if you give us this, then we'll give you the minimum, which is 47 years. Of course he's going to be like, all right, well, I'm going to get out old, but I guess, what do you have to lose at that point?
Well, my only thing is his family. Like, and I know you run that risk when you're in the life and you're caught up into just street shit. You run the risk of your loved ones being in danger. I wonder at what point did he, or if he's ever factored that in, that now his kid, his child's mom, his mom, people that he really loves, even people that might have worked for him that are close to him, that of the people that he snitched on are feeling away. These people's lives could potentially be in danger now.
What if a part of his deal was protection for them?
Well, but no. Well, here's the thing, because I thought that too. I thought that, but then what I'm showing right now or seeing is that all of the protection that he's hired for his mom, for his daughter, and for his child's mom is coming out of his pocket. The authorities will eventually step in if they feel as though he can't provide the security at a certain point.
Who do you think has his money? Who do you think is in control of his money?
So that's a good question,
outside?
and that's the one thing I've been thinking about.
And he had a lot of cash too, right? Like,
that's the
where
one
were you
thing.
stashing your cash?
In the mattress.
I don't know.
Like, you know what I mean? Like these are things that I wonder about, because obviously, like, what's a blessing for him is that, I mean, you're not buying property necessarily in jail, and unless you figure that out. But I feel like he's always going to be making money, some supplemental income through his like royalties and like things like that.
But here's my only thing, not to cut you off. I think it gets a little funny simply because of the racketeering charge. Because again, you're funneling money or filtering money through organized crime. So they could easily allegedly, let's just say, thank you.
Check yourself.
Allegedly.
He did that shit.
Well, at this point, he did. He copped.
Everybody that got illegal money also got legal money.
Correct, but when the government starts to tie in the legal money with the illegal money,
they can do what they want.
That should have freeze up.
But that's my thing.
Once they get you, they could do whatever.
We haven't had reports saying that they did fuck with his money.
Well,
right?
that's the other thing that's really frustrating about all of this. They've been really, really close to the vest with all of the details. They're only giving us minimal details that only let you kind of form your own opinions.
Yeah.
We're not really hearing what's happening.
You got to think big picture. You get these guys over here in Brooklyn, but they're going to lead me to these guys over here, because if you're getting pounds of weed and cocaine and heroin, you have a distributor, no?
So you're saying
why would I let all my evidence out?
So you're saying the long game for the feds is that they have him cooperating, and then they'll just go and get everybody else. Is what you're saying?
Well, they probably have him. They probably have him talking about more, but they're just not saying what he's talking about.
Oh yeah. I'm certain that's happening. I'm certain that's happening.
I think legally they have to keep some things to themselves, and they don't want shit to get out of hand. And a lot of people are watching this. A lot of people have eyes on this. There's people that are very menacing and harassing and annoying and do stupid shit, and fans and all types of crazy things.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they'll make a documentary one day. I have a question though. How do y'all feel? Do y'all feel bad for him, or do you think that because of his age, maybe he should have got a lesser sentence?
For me personally, I don't feel bad, only just because you make your bed, right? I grimace a little bit because I feel like it's a waste of talent, and I hate when people waste talent.
You think he was talented?
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. How old is he?
22.
22.
Is his frontal lobe even developed yet?
Yeah.
Nah.
That nigga, he's making bad decisions, man.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
you have a certain kind of like stupidity about the fool, like the tarot card of the fool that's about to walk off the cliff. Like, like that's just the stage that you at right now. Like, not like I'm not the ones. I'm not a judge. I'm not a judgment system. I'm none of those things. I feel for him as a young man who needs therapy. I wish he didn't do all the fucking shit that he did, because that's serious business. And if you do serious business, you're gonna do serious business.
Yeah. Lack a certain foresight.
So that's my thing. The only reason I've often called him a genius, and I think he's a genius in the sense
I didn't like his content.
Yeah, but
I think it was perverted.
You wasn't fucking with the blicky?
I don't like that shit.
Stupid.
yeah, but the difference
Stupid.
is
That's
e-
cute.
even-
That was cute. Like he was a little. He had
I'm talking
like
about
an eclectic sound. Like
That's
he
what I'm
was
saying. I'm
unique in
talking about
different
strictly
songs.
marketing. He's a genius. He had a way of tapping into certain markets, certain people's perspectives. Even if you didn't like him, I feel like the common theme, everyone that's interviewed him, between Angie, between Charlamagne, between all
I
of the
liked his
people,
interviews. I thought that was
like
funny.
a lot
It
of
was
people
funny.
said, "Yo, I gotta say," and everyone said it. I thought you were a little bit of an asshole, but you're actually really, really smart, and you're really, really talented. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, everybody's trying to fill his lane now. Now he's gone. Like Soulja Boy,
Yeah.
also genius.
Genius.
Snuck right in there.
Well, if keeping it a buck, let Big Draco tell it. He was the original OG, triple OG of that whole run.
Possibly.
I mean, if I'm keeping it a buck, I'm giving it to Soulja before I'm giving it to Tekashi. I can make a really, really good case that Tekashi took that whole wave from
Soulja Boy?
Big Soulja?
Yeah, 100%.
Big Draco.
100%.
But Soulja Boy already said everybody took his style.
Listen, Big Draco. Big Draco. If he said it, he did it. Fuck it.
If he said it, he.
Gospel.
I ain't like the way that Everyday Struggle family did my man in that clip. That was kind of corny.
If I'm being honest, I didn't like how Ack handled it. I thought that he was very patronizing. I didn't understand.
I didn't like the
I thought
question.
Soulja came out. I thought Soulja came out on top in that interview.
Said,
No, he did,
she said,
but the
we
way.
support black businesses, and then she was like,
Why you got
"But why you got
multiple
so many
businesses?
businesses?
Why you got
though?"
so many businesses?
Yo,
though?
that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that question for me, it was mind-boggling. Why do you have so many businesses? And for me, while I'm agreeing with Wilson, I think.
And then he said, "Why don't
what?
you have
Yeah,
so
he
many
said
businesses?"
it was the perfect
That
retort.
was-
Why
that
don't
was
you have
funny.
so many
That was
businesses? Let's
funny.
talk. Like, so I just think that they handled that whole shit wrong, and I kind of feel like.
Why do you think they did? Let's talk about that.
Trolling numbers.
Not even trolling. I think.
Just saying.
I think the same thing that happens with Soulja Boy happens with Tekashi. I think once you sit down with him, prior to sitting down with him, you think he's a joke. You think he's a troll. You laugh at everything that's happening with him. The moment you sit down with him and he starts to get to talking and making his points and starts to really line up, hey, I did this. Go look. Hey, that Drake line, it came from me, nigga. The video games, I was like, when he
Versace video
But he took that line from
too.
Shorty
Yeah.
Low.
Yeah. No, people gotta stop saying that too. He didn't take the whole line from Shorty Low. It was only what's happening. He only took the what's happening part.
You know what I
That's
didn't
it.
like though?
He took it from Shorty Low.
He only acts an ass when he goes on like interviews with black people. I saw him in like an interview with like a white lady. He's mad like proper and shit.
Well, I mean, there's a time
So
and
there's
place.
a time-
There's different
yeah.
media. There's
Yeah.
a media circuit, right?
Well, you know the white
Yeah.
man's ice is cold.
But hold
so.
up. Let me say this too, right?
But shout out to Wayno though.
I love
Wayno.
I love Wayno.
I love Wayno's
and
perspective.
I don't get to hear. I don't watch the show no more, so I don't get to hear his perspective. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I can't really judge the show as a whole because I don't know it anymore. But from seeing that clip, I was just like, this shit just kind of got out of hand. Like, there's a reason why I'm not there, and I would never want to produce that shit and my name be on that. And they need to fix that set and everything. It looks kind of crazy. But I just think that was fucked up, and I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
Big Ticket Basement looked better
Sorry.
than that.
Yeah.
They look like the Wayne's World, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just.
Wayne's World, party time.
Yeah.
Yo,
Fucks with that.
it's different. Shut lyrics, Michael.
What is going on?
I love Wayne's World. That's my movie.
Yeah, word. But Wayno was. I liked his perspective, and even I did like how he checked Soulja Boy. I did like that.
What was his
and
perspective? I didn't hear
His
it.
perspective
I
was
love
more
Wayno.
so.
Shout out to you, Wayno.
His perspective was more so around just trying to get a real understanding of just his business mindset, like how he was handling things. Like, did he really believe a lot of the things that he'd been saying? And as he starts to talk, he's like, all right, I get what you're saying. I understand why you're saying it. I could see why Soulja got out of line and started calling everybody on the set stupid, and then Wayno felt the way about
Well, no,
it.
because Academics was
But-
trolling
but
him
that's my
as
thing.
Wayno was talking to him.
That's my thing.
Academics is a troller, right?
But that's my
Yeah.
thing. He's trolling him.
Yeah. Oh,
so
no, of course, but still.
naturally-
He should have just kept that perspective. Wayno's
Why do you
not
have
that.
so many businesses?
I didn't understand that. I'll never understand it. But
She said it. She said it. Trolling. Like, You know what it is? I think
No, but she reaffirmed it. She reaffirmed after that
But what I
conversation.
low-key judged, right? Why do people feel comfortable enough to do this to Soulja Boy, right? That's the question.
Yeah.
When he did that live, that Instagram live, where he obviously looked drunk or on drugs or something, he was on something for sure. And the poor baby's eyes were swollen, so he was crying. Probably didn't get no sleep. Very stressed out. And like I said last time when I was here, we were talking about people being a little afraid about, like, when you're done with your rap career, because he doesn't really rap no more, right?
Yeah.
When you're done with your rap career, there's other things, like an athlete or whatever kind of entertainer or performer you are, you have to figure out what else are you going to do. And so I feel like him being at that point and him venturing out and trying to do all of these things, he's just also kind of going through something, and you need therapy. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that because people saw that as maybe a weakness, now it's like, all right, let's make this entertaining. Let's team up on him.
It's
and
a thing now.
Make him feel fucked up. Why?
It's a thing now.
Leave him alone.
I didn't also. Oh,
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Whenever I fuck up, I hope.
Can I say
Yeah,
one thing?
whenever I fuck up, I hope that lyric is on my side
Yeah.
because she just makes everything neat and nice.
Lyric is definitely like the aunt that Lyric is the aunt. You remind me of my aunt. Like you could do no wrong. You could do no wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah. She told Nas before the beginning of the show, don't let them call you regular.
Regular Nas.
She's like, you're not regular, schmegular.
Nas. Like, why you gotta be regular?
She's like, you should be spectacular, Nas.
But no. When she says she's, it's funny because when she's talking, like, I get the whole she's singing from a producer's perspective. Because even sometimes she's saying something, I'm like, oh my God, I was thinking that too.
But I also think a lot. Like I come from a loving place. I know I made a little keys about everyday struggle, whatever, you know. But like I do come from a place of love, like, and I want to be understanding, and I want to. You know, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what are we? We're human beings at the end of the day. I think that that's what I wanted for State of the Culture was every trending topic, let's get into the layers of it and break it down so we can actually talk about the bigger issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's always a bigger issue.
And another big issue that came from that Soulja Boy discussion was that, you know, obviously he had the video game console that came out, and obviously people had bad reviews and stuff for it. But okay, so that's a messed up thing, right? But why is it that you're getting on him when there are various white business owners that gyp people that put out horrible products, that Fire Festival, but that's not the same energy from our own community towards them?
So here's the thing, and this is why I think it's so great that it's Black History Month. I think we have to do better.
I mean, we're gonna talk about positive stuff too, but yeah.
We have to do better, and the reason I say that is because it's the cool thing to do to laugh at Soulja when he gets into the fight in California, when he's bugging out on his Insta Live, when he's arguing with people, when he's just calling out every big rapper and calling him out saying, yo, you got your style from me. It's comical when you think about it. But again, when you really think about his career and what he's achieved, it's not that laughable.
It's comical because people are mean. That's
it's not that laughable. He's actually achieved a lot, and he's a young entrepreneur that's actually really, really successful.
Put it like this: we all know his name.
Yeah.
And I still like the Superman song.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Superman.
That's for you. I mean, that to me is like a classic.
Can you show me again?
No.
All right,
No,
forget
that's
it. Forget it.
I'm not gonna lie, I hit that joint in the club a few times.
I can tell by
You
your jeans
definitely
did.
did.
Yeah.
Wilson, I can definitely see you.
You heard a joke, though?
Brit?
Rewind. You heard a joke? I'm sorry.
Everybody calm down.
Wilson got the ill mic, though. Like, if y'all should ever show him one day, y'all should at least show that mic.
Never.
That
We'll never show
microphone.
him.
That
Never.
microphone
Why?
is mad like 50s, like, hello, this is AM radio.
Larry, they're not gonna do well with you complimenting me.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Mike is mad trash. Mad reverb coming through.
That means he loves you. Don't worry. He gets on everybody.
I know. This guy.
Well, we're gonna end the show now. Not gonna tell you
Really?
that. Yeah.
Well, I thought we were gonna do Black History Month.
Yeah, you just completely
question
ignored
for
Black
you.
History.
Wow, what the fuck?
I'm feeling attacked.
Well, let me start off, right?
I'm for whatever
Fun
you guys
fact.
want to do.
Fun fact.
I'll
Jerry
talk about
Lawson, video gamer. He was one of the first black video gamer engineers when, you know, it started in like the mid 70s, early 60s, etc. Did you know that he created the first home console that had the interchangeable cartridge? Like how Nintendo 64,
Yeah.
like, you know, on Nintendo 64 you had to blow in your cartridge like for like video game.
Yeah,
So
I
he
remember Nintendo, if you want to be real, but yeah.
so he actually created the first home console for that. And I also heard that he created the first pause button. And also, did you know that the first home...
I mean,
Brandon!
Oh, what's that nigga
Brandon! Just to let you know, he created the first pause button.
Legend.
Yeah.
On the controller
Oh, yeah, what's that
that I
nigga's
saw.
name?
And then the first home security system was created by a full-time nurse, black woman, because of the crime rates that were increasing in her neighborhood. So... just some fun facts. There's some really, I honestly like, and you know what? I'm gonna let
They
Naz
made
talk
cell
about it
phones.
too.
What?
Yeah,
Talk about what?
Black History Month, right?
I forgot
It
his
should
name.
I know
be
that-
abolished.
Okay, so why do you think?
Because Black history is American history. I shouldn't just be relegated to 1 month.
Yo, you're bringing out the words today.
And it's not in 1 month. It's every motherfucking day.
Hey.
They
There you
just
go.
be saying, okay, you have a month to talk about
Yeah,
this.
no. Our history is American history. Been here from
That
Jump
nigga,
Street.
that nigga Wesley Snipes just said that.
So
He's the
I-
blackest nigga alive.
Word.
He said every
He
month
went to my
is.
college.
Yeah?
Purchase. Shout out to Purchase.
I say
Lyric-
yes and no to Nas.
Is Lyric your real name?
Oh my goodness.
Damn.
I was just curious. I didn't want the podcast to end without me. It was burning.
Pause. They got cream for that.
It's not my real name. No.
It's not.
But I've had this nickname for a very long time, and I've used it throughout my whole career, and that's all I know. It's when people call me my real name, I'm just like,
Were
that means you knew me since I was a kid or something.
You don't
I
know.
like
Hold
people
on.
knowing my
Why are you
real
asking
name,
all
too.
this?
were you a dope rapper at some point?
That's cute. I'm a dope poet. And I
knew
can
it was
spit bars.
something.
I mean,
Come
I'll
on
murder
now.
anybody in Def Jam Rap Star. I'll fuck anybody up.
Come on, man.
Oh.
Come on, Wilson over here getting to the bottom of this. Let's go.
Wait a second.
go.
You can't come on our podcast and not drop bars.
Oh, hell
Pull out a poem.
Yes,
Pull out a poem. Pull out a poem.
Pop, pop.
Oh no! Wait.
we
First of all, I didn't had
know
no
that.
Yes Jules moment because I'm not around here saying black woman I'm better than other black
pushes a
women.
lot
Just
of
saying it.
boundaries.
But no, I want to hear one of your poems.
Oh, really?
Yes, we want you
We're
to
about to
flex
get a
your
one day.
I
poetry.
don't really know what, like, I wish I should have prepared for this. Like, now I'm going to have to look and see what there is.
Yeah, this is mad pressure. This is mad
We
pressure.
got time. We can edit.
No, but you want to know something? I never sent Brandon a book.
Yeah, I feel a way about that. I was going to bring that up now that we're here. Still waiting for that book.
And I sold them out. I had to order more.
I know you got it, Lyric.
Okay, so you want to hear a poem? Let me go to my Instagram and let me read a poem.
I got to go to her Instagram to get a poem.
Because
And we dim them.
there was
Dim the lights, Brand.
once upon a time. Oh, she really is dimming the
Yo,
lights.
it's
Oh,
lit. It's lit.
Oh, we need more for the video.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, hold on. Put your
find-
lights on. We
Oh,
got
there
to make it
goes.
sexy. We got to make it sexy like we normally do. Make it sexy. Here we go.
Oh my god.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Shit, hold up.
for the first time only,
Wait, I'm sure.
This is going to be
Damn,
annoying,
like,
so I'm not going to do that.
Deaf
hold on. I kind of want.
Deaf Poetry Jam with Grassroots
I'm
Podcast.
trying to.
Featured
where's the
guest.
bongo?
Yeah, now we
Alright,
have
I'm
to do
gonna
lyrics
have to-
grassroots.
Yeah,
I
we're
wish I had a book in front of me,
Feelings.
Wait, aren't those pages?
but it's not the pages that I want
Yo,
to
this
read.
is mad pressure to fold right now.
All right, I'll do one. I wrote this when I was a teenager.
Oh,
no,
sure.
no, no.
Oh, let's
wait,
get it.
wait. I'm sorry. I think I was like 22. I'm lying. 22.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
Tekashi's
called
age.
Without the Use of Foul Language. I closed the book on us without desire of reading the sequel. You were my equal, a treacherous poison intertwined with the finest tobacco. You were the duplicate of an admired painting sold on eBay for $10. Your beauty suppressed by your imitation of the finest textured paint. I threw away the soul of you this morning, vacuuming the dust bunnies our arguments left behind. Our photographs eaten by the silverfish that slithered out of the cracks of my window pane. I took the weight of my arm to smash down the hardest I could, buried them as their legs wiggled, because in their bellies they wrought the last memory of you.
Hold on, let me snap my finger. That's what you gotta do. You gotta snap.
Fuck you, nigga.
Lyric is nice.
You liked it?
Lyric is nice.
Yeah, that shit was hard.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That wasn't that bad.
That was
That
dope.
was actually dope. That was actually really dope.
I
written-
love poetry.
Woo.
That shit's therapy.
It'd be great. If
That
I
was
could get
hard.
I really want my book. I really want my book. That's all I thought
All
about
right,
the entire time.
now I'm gonna order new rounds so I can autograph them and mail them out.
Oh yeah, you better help
Do
us.
you have
Black
an
History
audio
Month.
version?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, word.
You got an audio version of the book?
No, but I should make one. And people
Yeah.
talk about my voice all the time, and they're like, it's so soothing.
I've
and
been
it's,
said that.
You need help?
You know.
Yeah.
Do you need audio help?
Yeah, I do need audio help.
I've been said it.
All right, so
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna book a flight. When I book my next flights, I'm gonna make sure that I stay a little longer.
Let's do it. It's not me.
Hey!
Love you, see, friends.
All right.
How many of us have them?
Who did? Pulling out all the references.
Where?
So actually, I want to quickly go back to what Naz was saying too. For Black History Month, because we got to talk about this a little bit more, because there's black folks in here. There's a lot of them, except like you and Chris and
Wow.
hey Gianni.
And Wilson?
Wait, I did an Ancestry.com.
Was it more than 10%?
I had some African in there.
Hey.
Was it more than 10%?
That's from my Boricua side.
Hey.
Is it?
Was it more than
I don't
10%?
remember, to be honest. I don't know. If
I was
it
gonna say you gotta join the squad if it's more than 10%.
Yeah, it's black. You're fine.
mean-
You better go check. You gotta go check.
got here? Eight?
So
Was it
Black
eight?
History Month, I agree that it should be something that's taught, but I still think that there needs to be a month because unfortunately people aren't as focused.
Well, do you know
And
why it was created?
It was by a black man.
But you know why? He said first it started out as Negro History Week. It started out as a week. What he did was he wanted to petition to be able to teach Black American culture because
Yeah.
he didn't want it to be forgotten like that of the Native American Indian.
Yeah.
And they people were with it. They were like, all right, like let's start teaching in schools. Like so that's how they started out. And then it became a month and it's celebrated in Amsterdam, like the Netherlands, and all around the world now.
Netherlands should. They started slavery.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about it, talk about it.
I
King. Talk about
People
it.
are savages.
Yeah.
Like how the FBI forgot about Martin Luther King. That tweet was
Well, no,
hilarious.
you could.
But
Because they killed him. Why do they want to celebrate somebody they murdered?
You could incorporate it in American history. Everybody knows that goddamn was it George Washington never told a lie?
Yeah.
And chopped down a tree.
A tree.
of course you
Fuck
could
out.
incorporate it, but I still think there
Fuck
needs to
outta
be
here.
a period of time because sometimes people be forgetting shit. And also another thing too is if we're gonna do Black History Month, we gotta stop like focusing on the people that everyone knows. Like
Right.
there needs to be something where. Like, forget that. I challenge our viewers. Like, go and look up some black inventors, some very successful, amazing black people that you probably don't know of. You
York.
can Google
Yeah.
and you can
You'd be
find them.
surprised.
Like, you'd be
Africans made
surprised.
paper. Look, I have Black inventors in there.
They made a lot. Like I think like one made a components in a refrigerator.
Air
refrigerator.
conditioning unit,
Yo,
yeah.
Yeah, niggas made the AC.
electric
Yeah.
No, not
lamp,
niggas, black people.
refrigerator, mop,
Remember that
was
shit.
it what's another one?
elevator. They made elevator.
Oh well, one guy also made the helped make the components in a laptop that you can actually add like a disk drive and stuff to your
Alexander
computer.
Miles made the elevator.
Let's talk about York.
Yeah,
You know
niggas
York?
made peanuts.
Ice cream.
Fam, can we stop saying niggas made during our Black History segment? Like
He's wild. man.
It's a lot.
language.
It's a lot. It's a lot of dope
Roller
black.
coaster.
This
Roller
guy.
coaster.
So let me tell.
Roller
Hold on, real
coaster.
quick. I want to talk about York, who helped out. Who's these motherfuckers that lied and went across America?
I don't know. You about to,
Lewis and Clark. Lewis and Clark. No, Lewis and Clark. You know, they explorers, and they mapped America, right? And they had the Native American woman. What's her name? Sachaquana. What's her name?
I'm laughing at
Sacagawea. Listen, Erin, let me tell you something right now.
Somebody got to put the camera
Listen, huh?
It's stupid.
Listen, let me tell you something right now. Everybody talk about Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea. She's on the golden dollar. And they forgot York spoke Native American languages. He could fight, and he saved Lewis and Clark's ass numerous times.
Yeah.
Then when he got them to Oregon and back, then ran away, and I think it was either one of them, Lewis and Clark said, oh, well, he ran away and he died trying to get back to me because he
Yeah.
was my slave. That's the lie.
Bullshit.
That motherfucker got Go ahead, man. Y'all go. I'm gonna go back, chill out in the wilderness, which I know, but nobody talks about York.
Can I just say, as a kid, I loved learning about Black history, and I always was a part of the performance. Like, I even did African dances.
Yeah.
Like, I was a part of PAL, Police
Yeah.
Athletic League. Like, you know, the kids stay out of trouble and shit.
Yeah.
And so I would dance, and we did all the shit for Black History Month, and I loved that show.
Yeah.
Like, that was like my favorite shit.
I miss all
Yeah,
that
my
shit
mom
growing
bought
up
me a
when I was
book.
kid.
My mom bought me a book that included like all the Black
What?
inventors, scientists, and you like learn about all of them.
Sacagawea.
Yeah, I helped my nephew with a project one time, and I learned about somebody I didn't learn about before, Fannie Lou Hamer, and she helped for Black people for the right to vote. If y'all ain't ever heard of her, y'all should definitely look her up. That she went through some shit,
Yeah.
and that shit's a good awareness of the things that she went through
Yeah,
and what they
definitely.
did to her,
Yeah.
and how she changed the fucking world.
And hair products for like hair loss, Black woman. No,
That's the one I
That's the
know.
one I know. I'm done with y'all.
yeah.
All
I
right.
had fun.
Well,
I love y'all. I love everybody's energy here.
Lyric,
Hey.
thank
So
you for
grateful to
coming
be
on.
here.
Thank you
This
so
is
much.
so worth a red eye flight. Okay, you heard?
You
Yeah, you
heard
took
it
the red
first.
eye?
Heard?
You heard? Know what I mean? The red eye for us. Know what I mean? Real shit.
You know?
That's all I got. I feel like anytime you say, know what I mean? Like, you don't have to say anything else. It's just, know what I mean?
I love being
You gotta just
from
say dead
New York
ass.
and coming back to New York and being. Yo, can I just say New York is the most aggressive and
Facts.
miserable
100%,
place.
100%.
I come back here. Yo, I went to hot
Facts.
yoga this morning. My homegirl was like, "Hi, good morning," and the woman didn't say shit. I was like, "Okay, New York, like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here."
It's cold as fuck. I don't want to say hello.
Well, no, it was a beautiful day. Wait, it was a beautiful day though, wasn't it? A beautiful
It was
day.
really nice
It was
today.
sunny
Really
out
nice.
here.
Yeah.
right,
Tell that
sorry.
to the guard downstairs that never says hello. Just sign in. you don't
I
even
was
say
nice
hello.
to that guy.
Yeah.
He was nice.
He doesn't like
I
that.
made a funny face in my picture before I came up.
Oh, that's probably why. All right. Well, be sure to subscribe, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Lyric, thank you again for staying and
Thanks
hanging
for
with
having
us.
me.
Always welcome as always. Be sure to subscribe. Grassroots Pod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Hit the notification button on the upper
Subscribe
right-hand
here.
corner. Yeah, subscribe here.
Make sure you put it there.
Insert graphic there. And then also, again, a lot of you guys are still sending the pictures of the merchandise. Thank you so much. We'll continue to keep sharing them. And let us know your thoughts on pretty much all of the topics that we've covered today. And just let us know what you think. So are you rolling with Jussie? What do you think about Black History Month? What are you going to do differently to try to impact your community?
Are you gonna tell your kids?
Yeah, are you going to tell
Are you gonna tell your kids that they don't amount to shit and to be realistic or not?
Word or not.
I will.
That's
Yeah,
a T-shirt.
well, you know you will.
Keep it real.
That said, I'm Brandon Killabh, y'all.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon.
I'm regular Nas.
I'm Wilson.
He's extraordinary, Naz, and I'm Lyric.
Yeah.
I'm never calling him that. Nas. All right, we out.
Yeah.
Grassroots.